Entertainment Soldier here, and I am back to talk about Andor Season 2, Episodes 1, 2, and 3, and my thoughts on these episodes. Dear, oh dear, oh dear. Not a great start to Season 2. Massively disappointing. And the biggest problem in all three of these episodes is there's so much wasted time on storylines we don't care about. 3 episodes on a fucking wedding. 2 episodes on a person being kidnapped by the most retarded rebels I think Star Wars has ever fucking seen. And we do have to mention the big scandal of these episodes, the sexual assault scene, something that does not need to be in Star Wars. Now, I've seen a lot of the bullshit online about this from the defenders of this storyline. It doesn't need to be in Star Wars. And saying, well, you allow genocide in Star Wars, well, you let Anakin choke Padme, well, Anakin slaughtered a bunch of kids. There's always been a fucking line in Star Wars. Like, a fucking line. And sexual assault should literally be the one over the line. Because if you're saying, well, there's so many crimes in Star Wars, why are you so hung up on this one terrible crime but allow all the other terrible crimes? Because it's the stupidest thing to put in Star Wars. And I even put that above the Rey shit. This is a fantasy world, yes. But at the core of Star Wars, it is a family franchise. Okay? So yes, you can put certain things in Star Wars that isn't terrible. Seeing a planet blow up, yes, that's a genocide. But it's not like we're seeing the people burned a fucking life. And yes, Anakin killed a bunch of kids. But we didn't see him cut their fucking heads off, did we? There's always been a line. And that episode crossed it. And if your argument is, well, there's been other crimes, okay, where's the line? Should we have fucking kiddie fiddlers in this? Should we start having fucking pedo stories? I mean, for God's sake. Some things do not need to be in Star Wars. This is one of them. There's no need. The Empire's evil enough. Okay? And don't talk to me about empowerment bullshit. This did not need to be in this fucking show. There is no excuse for it. It should not have happened. If you open that door, you are opening a world of fucking mess. That's all I'm going to say on this. I thought it was a stupid fucking scene. And I will say this. The people who are saying this is a terrible thing, you did go a bit over the top. It isn't like it was a full R. It was just an attack. So I'll give the people who defend this that little bit of a carrot. Like it wasn't over the top. But in my opinion, it was over the line. So that's what I'm going to say on that. But other than that, there were other problems in these 3 episodes other than the wasted time and the crime scene. The story was just boring. It was just boring. I literally had to take an hour break because I just could not be asked to go through with it anymore. And I should not be at that point in the middle of the 2nd episode. I should be invested. But my God, I can't be asked when you've literally had me watch Andor in cuffs for 2 episodes, still thinking, why the fuck isn't this guy trying to escape? It's so fucking ridiculous. And I do not care about Mon fucking Mothma's fucking family. Seriously, I want this to be done with the fucking Mon Mothma family drama shit. I am trying to watch Star Wars. I was told this was about the birth of the rebellion. How am I wasting so much time on fucking Mon Mothma's kid? Seriously. Get the fuck on with it. And Lufon, I mean, yeah, he was in the episode, but for God's sake, he's just there. Standing around moaning a couple of fucking times. That's all he did in all 3 episodes. Stand around doing jack shit. Oh, there was a little story about blackmail in the episodes. But it was literally a 2-minute thing. Why the fuck? Oh, God. Jesus. And remember the first season. Like, the first 3 episodes, they were boring as well. But at least it got to a point where you actually might have wanted to find out what happens next. With these 3 episodes, I don't care. I really don't. Now, was everything in these 3 episodes boring and pointless? No, the only good thing was the fucking song at the end of this episode 3. That is the only thing I watched twice. That stupid fucking song that I hope they put on YouTube. And that shouldn't be the only thing that's good in 3 fucking episodes. That if you count them all together, is 3 hours. That's 3 fucking hours. And the only thing I can point to that was actually good was a stupid disco song at the end of episode 3. Now, some people might say, what about Krennic? He was in a couple of episodes. He was in 1. And it was kind of interesting to see the Empire's plan for a particular planet and the reasons behind that. Yeah, it was kind of interesting. But it's done for 1 episode. The most interesting fucking thing in all 3 episodes. And it's 1 fucking scene. But we get 3 fucking episodes of a fucking wedding nobody cares about. What the fuck? And 2 episodes on retard Rebel Squadron. Why are we wasting so much? Oh, I swear to fucking God, if somebody says, well, Retard Squadron was a very important scene because of the planet they were on. Fuck off. You could have done anything to have that planet get found. This was not it. That is ridiculous. And if somebody gets offended with me using the retard word, I'm sorry, you tell me how I'm supposed to say how stupid these sons of bitches are. Because, my God, they are the dumbest fucking rebels you have ever seen. If the Empire were fighting just them, the Empire would never have lost a fucking fight. Like, I think even stormtroopers could pick those sons of bitches off. That's how useless these guys are. And I have such a feeling we're going to see those sons of bitches again. Oh, my God. Jesus. Yeah. This is a terrible start to season 2. So much time wasted. Ridiculous storylines. And the good stuff is just left with 1 fucking scene. Oh, I guess I should mention fucking Dedra and Skrill, I think his name is. Yeah, we had 1 episode where we had to concentrate on his mother. That's it. Ain't seen these guys in a couple of years. Apparently they're together. What they've been doing. No. We're going to just take a couple of minutes to have them have a little meeting with their mum. With his mum. Oh, my fucking God. Tragic. It's tragic. Because again, there's potential. There is potential in Andor. There is. When it's actually concentrated on the rebellion fighting the fucking Empire. When we're actually seeing how the rebels are going to fight them, how the Empire is going to counter them. That's interesting. But we never saw that in all 3 episodes. Unbelievable. So what would I give all 3 episodes out of 10? I'll give it a 4 out of 10. Okay, a 4 out of 10. That's the best I can fucking do. And the only reason I'm giving it a 4 is there is potential with the Imperial, plan for a certain planet. It is interesting to see how an Empire is going to take down a planet without using a Death Star or using an army. I thought that scene was interesting. I thought Krennic's scene was great. I should also mention another problem I had with the first episode. Too much comedy. Too much fucking comedy. It's pretty fucking over the top in the first episode with a particular TIE fighter scene, which was just over the top stupid. And I don't understand why you need to do that. I get it, yeah, fine. He doesn't know how to fly the fucking thing, but does he really? Again, now the Empire apparently don't make great fighters, but yet they've made this amazingly tough son of a bitch that can crash into walls, mountains, can be fired repeatedly by blaster fire. It's like, my God, it's the best fucking TIE fighter the Empire's ever created. Like, my God, the amount of times that son of a bitch got hit, or hit a rock, or hit a fucking wall. Jesus, they should have just been throwing out those sort of TIE fighters. It was over the top ridiculous how that thing was still flying. So yeah, 4 out of 10. Let's get to spoilers now. If you don't want to hear spoilers, leave in 3, 2, 1. So, how am I going to go through these episodes? I think I'll just... Well, listen. Episodes 1 and 2 are basically this one episode. And 3 is just a clean-up episode for episodes 1 and 2. That's all they were. So, episode 1, we start off with Andor pretending to be a Imperial test pilot, meeting up with the second biggest arse in fucking the Star Wars galaxy. Like, Jesus Christ, that fucking filled my television screen. That woman's arse. Listen, I'm talking about it. If you didn't fucking see it, bullshit. My God, it was big. I couldn't believe it. I started laughing. And someone's going to give you some bullshit. Oh, you're body shaming. What do you want me to do? It was a massive arse on the screen. I couldn't stop laughing. And the reason I call it the second biggest arse in the Star Wars galaxy is because Lizzo still exists. So, Anyway, so this Imperial technician turns out that she works for the Rebellion and she's helping Andor steal this TIE Advanced fighter. Well, it's not a TIE Advanced. It's some adapted version of a TIE Advanced fighter. And Andor's there to steal it. Andor has a conversation with this rebel technician, and she's kind of on the fence about what she's doing, worrying if she's going to die, not worried that she's going to die, but worried that she's going to die for no reason. And Andor just comforts her and says, yeah, listen, you wanted to fight the Empire. This is the best way to do it, and you are achieving something for the galaxy. So that was an okay scene. I guess I wasn't that much caring about the woman. I was just kind of like, can we get to the point where you grab the TIE fighter and, get out of there? I want to see a chase scene. So, anyway, whilst they're talking, another Imperial technician comes in. The Rebel technician goes over to kind of distract her and talk her to go away, basically. They have a conversation. The Rebel technician comes back and tells Andor the Imperial technician thought you were cute. Blah, 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 blah. Andor then decides to run off and grab the TIE fighter. Shoots the security droid protecting it. Don't know why there wasn't a couple of stormtroopers protecting it as well, if it's a very important TIE. But yeah, Andor apparently manages to just step on this important TIE fighter and is just able to activate it. There's no codes, there's no defense grid on it. No, he could just step into the TIE fighter and fly it away. and activate the weapons and the rocket on the bottom of the TIE fighter, all just open to take. So Imperial security is pretty shit. Oh, fuck, I hate it when they do this. I hate it when they say the Imperials are fucking stupid. Because you can't be threatened then by an empire filled with morons. You just can't. It was ridiculous. But anyway, we then get Andor trying to fly the fucking TIE fighter and literally just flying it into every fucking wall in the fucking hangar bay, which finally apparently wakes up the Imperials to the fact, oh shit, someone's trying to nick our TIE fighter. Oh, I should mention the planet that Andor's on is Sonar. You know, the ones who make the TIE fighters. I just thought I should mention that. Anyway, so yeah, whilst the Imperials have finally been alerted to someone nicking the fucking TIE fighter, Andor is still flying about like a fucking moron. Then the Imperials finally get in, the Stormtroopers fire, well, they hesitate for the first second, and then start shooting the TIE fighter, and then Andor figures out the weapons and starts killing the fuck out of the Stormtroopers. You then get one snowtrooper who has a fucking rocket launcher, misses the biggest fucking target you've ever fucking seen, and then Andor blows the son of a bitch away with a rocket. And then after that, blows the fuck out the door, and then flies it into the snow, nearly falling off the cliff edge, and then flies off the cliff edge where he then crashes into a mountain. Well, crashes the side of the TIE into the mountain. He then gets chased by two TIE fighters that look like, or what are they called? The Inquisitor's TIE fighter, the head guys, you know, that TIE fighter, the Inquisitor used in Rebels, where you saw two of them in this episode. And that's all that the Empire sends to stop Andor nicking their most advanced TIE fighter. The most powerful TIE fighter in the fucking galaxy, by the way. And the most hard... Well, it's just impossible to destroy that thing. I mean, Andor definitely fucking tries. But Jesus. As I said before, the Empire should have just made millions of those motherfuckers and the rebels would have been fucked. So you get a chase scene with these Inquisitor TIE fighters. Again, that's all they send, two fucking ones of them. They go for a bunch of mountain things, and then Andor shoots some mountain pieces and then makes a fucking tunnel collapse and manages to get through it whilst the other TIEs get blown up. And then hyperspace somewhere. Should I call it out now or should I just leave it for later? Fuck it. I'll leave it for later. And just goes to a random jungle in the middle of nowhere to meet up with a contact who's supposed to fly this new TIE fighter somewhere secret so that the rebels can, you know, find out its secrets and shit. But it turns out the person that Andor was supposed to meet has been either killed or has run away, because it turns out a bunch of the dumbest fucking moron rebels have turned up. And, yeah, they think they capture Andor, think he's an Imperial agent or something, and just keep threatening him with death if he doesn't talk to them and tell them everything he knows. It turns out these rebels were the rebels Luther sacrificed in the attack from last season's final episode. These are the survivors of the ones he sacrificed. And, yeah, they're in terrible shape. They have no food. Most of their leaders are dead. And, yeah, they're pretty fucked. And very much on edge. I want to get through this shit because it was the dumbest fucking lot of bullshit. And we had to deal with it for 2 fucking episodes. So, these moron rebels are basically trying to figure out a way to get off this fucking planet, because they are starving to death, because there's nothing to eat on this planet and not much to drink. So if they don't get out of there soon, they're going to fucking die. The problem is they don't have a pilot they can trust to fly the TIE fighter, and also the TIE fighter cannot fit the entire rebel team on it. So basically the 2 head morons of this rebel group, or at least the ones who are left in charge, just keep having fights with each other and will not work together for no reason, even though if they worked together at the start, maybe they wouldn't be both fucking dead right now. But, you know, fuck it, right? They just wanted to argue with each other for the majority of the 2 fucking episodes, and that's what they ended up fucking doing. And then it got to the point, and I fucking said this before it happened, I wish they would just kill each other because I am fucking done right now. And what do you think happens? They start shooting each other. The rebels start shooting each other over a fucking argument. Oh my... Again, the dumbest motherfuckers you have ever seen in Star Wars. And I put them above the sequel trilogy, which is the dumbest load of shit you've ever seen until now. With these fucking morons. So they start shooting at each other, and Andor's just, you know, just there, because the idiot doesn't even try to escape at any point. And then they go to one other side of the fucking jungle that they're in, where one side has control of the TIE fighter, but the other rebels have control of Andor, the pilot, so both sides are fucked. And it gets to the point, and I'm not even kidding here, that both sides kind of realise they can't win this fight. So they come to the middle. And I thought this was going to be, okay, a fight to the death. We're going to get an epic fight to the death kind of scene for who takes control of the rebel group. But no. That's not what these writers were thinking. Have you ever wondered what rock, paper, scissors would be like in Star Wars? I'm not shitting you. That is how they were supposed to sort this argument out. Rock, paper, fucking scissors. I can't. Oh, shit. Oh, my God. Oh, fuck. But it doesn't matter, anyway, because a fucking random monster comes out, eats the 2 morons, and fucks off. And then Andor finally figures out a way to escape, runs to the fucking TIE fighter, and then flies away and leaves the motherfucking morons to die on the planet of Yavin. Yes, everybody, it's Yavin. That's the jungle planet they're on. And this is probably how the rebels are going to find this fucking planet, because Andor's going to go back and rescue Retard Squadron. What the fuck? We wasted 2 episodes on these morons. Are you fucking kidding me? Oh, fuck it. Let's get on with it. So, that was that part. I think we should just talk about Dedra and her partner, Krell, or whatever the fuck he's called. So, her part of the episode, basically, in episode 1, was going to a secret meeting with Krennic. Now, Krennic is having a secret meeting with very trustworthy Imperials because he has a plan that he cannot trust just anybody. Now, this plan is basically about destabilizing a planet. But it's not just any planet, it's a very important and rich planet. And the Imperials know they can't just send a fucking Star Destroyer there just to take over the planet. No, this has to be done tactfully. Now, the planet that we are talking about is Gorman. Now, this planet is a very rich planet because it has a material on it that they use for clothes. They're very expensive clothes that is made by Gorman spiders. And so I thought that's what they were that's what Krennic wanted to kind of steal from them, the spiders. Because what Krennic is trying to do here is he needs to find a particular material that he needs to use on the Death Star for some part of the laser. And the only material strong enough to handle that sort of power, by the way, he doesn't tell these Imperials what the Death Star is. He's still, pretending that it's some sort of power source. And that's what they're trying to spin it as. And so that's what Krennic's saying. But the material is not the spider's webs that they are looking for. Apparently it's a material underneath the crust of the planet's core or something. And the problem is, if they dig for that material, I didn't catch what the hell the material was called, Kyber crap or something. If they dig for this material, it could damage the planet severely to the point it could fall apart. Now, if this was a planet in the Outer Rim that had a bunch of farmers on it, Krennic would have hesitated and sent a couple of Death Stars, a couple of million stormtroopers and just wiped out the fucking lot of them. But this is, again, a wealthy planet that has a lot of power in the Senate. So Krennic has brought together these Imperials so that he can find a way to destroy the planet from the inside using politics, spies, basically everything other than military force, because he knows he can't do that to this planet. And I thought this is a kind of really interesting storyline to go down, because how would an empire take out a planet that was that important in the empire that you can't just bully? That's an interesting story. Now, did the writers of Andor decide to concentrate on this for more than 3 fucking episodes? Nope. We got one fucking scene. And Krennic had a little chat about it, and that was it. And we wasted all the other time on the fucking wedding. That was an interesting scene. I mean, you literally have a fucking bit of it where Krennic introduced some misinformation heads of departments or whatever, and they say how they've done this sort of campaign before, misinformation campaign about some sort of trade route that got shut down by some sort of group, and they used it to great effectiveness. They actually got the galaxy pissed off at a particular group, and they're going to use these two morons to do it to Gorman. But Krennic isn't completely sold on these two morons, so he's invited other people. Now all these people start talking about the fact that you can't just do this to an important imperial world. They have standing in the Senate. They also have a lot of money they can throw around. This is going to be pretty damn hard. So Krennic knows he can't just rely on misinformation, so he goes to Dedra, and he needs her to give him a better way to destabilize the planet. Now, Dedra doesn't want to do this because she's still trying to look for Luther, because she still believes that he's the bigger threat. Now, again, we all know that he is, but ISB don't think so because she just hasn't brought enough evidence. So basically, this is ISB and the Imperials pretty much telling Dedra to get over that and to focus on something else. But she doesn't want to give up on that, so that's why she's very hesitant to be on this project. But Krennic says that he needs help, and she needs to do the right thing for the Empire, and he knows that she has a better plan to destabilize the planet. And her idea is basically, you don't need misinformation, you need a fucking rebellion on the planet. And if they can build a rebellion on Goldra or whatever, that is the best way to get rid of the population and to have Imperials send troops. Because that's also the other way to get troops on the planet without it being a full-scale invasion. Say there's a rebellion on the planet, then you can start sending in troops and start controlling important parts of the planet so that you can start digging the planet and fucking it up, and the people have no way of fighting back. And I thought that was interesting. I want to hear more of this. A dangerous plan like that, that's going to destroy these people's planet. How would the people fight back? But no, that's all we get from that. And then Dedra spends the rest of the fucking 3 episodes dealing with fucking Skrill's fucking mum. Oh, we get him as well. He does a little office tour and how he did a very important job that found some corruption and shit. And then he has mum problems, and that was all that Dedra and him had in all 3 episodes. That's it. So let's get to the most important part of all 3 episodes. Mon Mothma and her fucking kid's wedding. So if you remember from last season, Mon Mothma made a deal with some Imperial moron to marry their 2 kids together for money or something. I don't really fucking remember. So we get 3 episodes of the wedding. You get some scenes between Mon Mothma, her husband and her kid, not having a great relationship with each other because, you know, family shit. Her sister's also there for a couple of fucking scenes, you know, still missing a girlfriend. And Luther then turns up where Mon Mothma starts getting petrified because he's a rebellion. He's a rebel and she doesn't want to get caught with him, basically. And then throughout the fucking wedding, there's problems. Apparently 2 people are not connecting with each other. The bride and groom are having problems, whatever. Mon Mothma then has a moment with a daughter where she tries to tell her, don't go through with the wedding. And the daughter just tells her to go fuck herself. And then the most important scene of the fucking wedding was the fact that Mon Mothma then gets blackmailed by her friend who figures out that she is supplying money to the rebellion, and he is pretty much demanding hush money, basically. And now Mon Mothma is in a shit situation because this guy can literally get her killed if he tells the Empire that she is supplying money to the rebellion. She's fucked, and her family are fucked too. So yeah, she needs to sort this guy out. Luther is pretty much there to kind of help her, but Mon Mothma doesn't want to do that option, which is basically Luther will order his assassination. She wants to find a better way, basically how much. But Luther knows this son of a bitch ain't going away. He's going to keep asking, and she's going to have to keep paying him, and that's just not going to be good for the rebellion. So, long story short, Luther goes above Mon Mothma and gets somebody, or at least it looks like he's gotten somebody to assassinate him, which turns out to be Mon Mothma's sister's girlfriend. And yeah, that's the fucking wedding shit. 3 episodes. And the only good thing was that stupid disco song at the end. My God, I enjoyed that song. Da, 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 da. And then you just saw Mon Mothma dance like a fucking moron, which I kind of thought was funny. So we get to the final story in all 3 episodes, which is Andor's girlfriend and the rebel group that escaped the planet from last season. So they're hiding on some outer rim planet that grows flour, shit like that. And they're there working and hiding. You get a lot of mentions of passports and shit and documentation. The Empire are there, but they tend not to do much. But it turns out over the last couple of months, they've kind of been moving up operations, doing more scans, doing more in-person checks. And so Bex and the group are kind of worried. Because if they get found by the Empire, they know they're going to prison because of what they did, you know, last season. And they don't want to get captured because then Andor's going to be in the shit. And they know they're going to die. So, yeah, they've got to know the locals. The locals are going to help them, protect them wherever they can. And then throughout the episode, you see some Imperials. Then you see the really creepy lieutenant, who's basically the guy who tries to, well, who you know is the one who's going to sexually assault Bex. Okay? You literally saw him in the first scene you see this guy. It's like, yeah, he's a predator. He's a predator. Come on. 2 seconds, you know who it is. I would have liked it if the scene had been a lot better than this. Like, maybe this Imperial could have been a good guy. Maybe Bex could have seen, maybe not every Imperial's a son of a bitch. No, it just turns out he's a rape. I can't say that, can I? He's a very, very bad sexual predator. And it was just, it was over the top. I mean, there was no finesse in it either. This guy was just a creep on day fucking 1. There was no, you know, build up. It was just, hi, I'm a creepy son of a bitch who wants to sexually assault you. Can I come in? It was stupid. Oh my god. Again, I still say it's a line that should never have been crossed. It should never have been introduced into Star Wars, but here we fucking are. And then throughout the episode, it was just them kind of being petrified the Imperials are going to find them. Then, in the final episode, episode 3, the Imperials come back, figure out that they are illegals. The officer also figures out that they're illegals, but uses this as an opportunity to sexually assault Bex. Well, Bix or Bex, whatever the fuck her name is. So yeah, he tries to sexually assault her, but she's able to fight him off, bashes him around a bit. Then the Imperial who's with the officer sees him basically get killed, then demands she surrenders to him, but then somebody comes over, shoots at the Imperial, and then Bex grabs a shotgun, I think, and kills the Imperial. And then the Imperials capture, what's his fucking name? Braz or whatever. Yeah, and yeah. Oh, Andor arrives, by the way, on a special TIE fighter to save the group from the Imperials, kills a shitload of them using the TIE Advanced fighter, and unfortunately is too late to save Braz. And his death was funny. Now, the reason his death is funny is because we have finally found the stormtrooper who can fucking shoot straight. And it was a funny scene because whilst all the other stormtroopers are firing, you just see this one stormtrooper pull his E11 up and actually aim the son of a bitch and shoot Bex. Well, it looks like that's what he was doing, but then Andor comes over and blows the fuck out of him. And there you go. Or some Imperials get drowned in flour. And yeah, that was the death of Brax. I'm sorry, I did just start laughing because that scene was fucking comedy. It really was. The stormtrooper stopping, slowly bringing the weapon up to him, and just shooting Bex. It was fucking funny. The only stormtrooper who can actually shoot a fucking target is now unfortunately dead. And the episode ends with Andor and the group escaping on the TIE Advance to find somewhere safe to escape from the Empire. And we also end with Mon Mothma dancing to that good song. And yeah, that's it. A terrible start to season 2. I do have some hope because we are going to have K2SO come in soon, hopefully. And hopefully we see more of the rebellion fighting the Empire and not this ridiculous shit. So, yeah, 4 out of 10. Hopefully it gets better. And that's the end of my review. If you like this review, give it a like. If you dislike this review, give it a dislike. And if you like my content, do think of subscribing. And if you have a comment, leave below and I'll try to get back to it. Ensign Wood Soldier. Bye.